fraction of a second, insignificant for most, but not for those suffering from a spinal cord injury. In that moment, life can abruptly change. It's a moment in time that will never fade. Who among us hasn't driven tired? For Jaden, that split second changed everything.
I think about what occurred that day, every single day, since that day. I was kind of getting tired and wanting to ride back, and I fell asleep, and all I could think about was my sister, because it was just me and her in the car. When people say things happen, like flash before your eyes, I didn't really know what that meant.
Hey, can you hold my hand?
Yeah, we'd love to hold your hand.
It was like, hold on. There's so much that you could change that if you could go back in time. Hold on. But I can't.
I just felt like I failed her as a parent. I just felt like I wasn't there to protect her. I felt immediate guilt. Having to go from, my little girl and doing everything on her own, very independent, to her having to rely on me just to do the most simplest thing that us humans take for granted. I feel like her life is going to be very hard. It's going to be very tough for her. And I just don't feel like she deserves it. And that's when it just hits me. And I can't control it. I can't do anything to fix it. I can't help her.
Imagine you're at an age where retirement is on the horizon, and you're suddenly faced with a devastating injury.
I went through a small patch of icy water, and I slipped into a 10-foot ditch, and I'm trapped under this machine. And then I remember that my phone is in vibration, and I cannot even feel it. When I realized that I couldn't lift my arm, at that point, I knew I was in trouble. I knew that something had really changed in my life.
I saw his face. He was white. He was swollen. They said, we're not able to put him in the ambulance. We have to airlift him immediately.
My wife has been in more than 12 or 15 fractures. She's stronger than I am.
My doctor called me first, and he said to me, Lisa, remember what I told you would be the absolute worst thing that could happen with your spine? Well, it's happened to Sergio. And I thought, this can't be true. We finally got through all our scary things. And then this happens to the person that's been taking care of me and everybody else.
The darkest moment of my new life ended when my wife walked into the room, gave me a hug and a kiss, and said, honey, we're gonna fight this together. We're gonna get you better, and you're gonna go home.
This isn't something that you learn to accept, especially when it happens to you after running free for 6 years. We're not gonna wait for it to take time because we're hoping that the Miami Project will come up with all kinds of answers to beat this.
The Miami Project's international team of more than 175 scientists, researchers, clinicians, and support staff is dedicated to improving the quality of life and ultimately finding a cure for paralysis.
These are exciting times in the Miami Project, focusing on discovery, translational, and clinical research. We're very proud of the fact that over the years, we've developed a therapeutic pipeline where you can take an idea and move it all the way to the clinical trial.
Miami Project's research is creating treatments for paralysis, but it's also helping those living with brain injuries, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, ALS, MS, stroke, and many other neurological issues.
In the Christine E. Lynn Center, we're currently utilizing neuromodulation to target both upper extremity function and walking, which is an extremely important quality of life in people living with spinal cord injury.
The MAMI Project continues to push the boundaries of what is possible in the field of neuroscience because we do believe that cures for paralysis and so many other neurological issues are not only possible, but they're inevitable.
When I think about the mission of the Miami Project, I think about inspiration. When a father dedicates his life to his son. I think about hope, the hope of all the families that come through the doors of the Miami Project. I think about the dreams of millions of people around the world who look to the Miami Project. And finally, I think about reality. Because of the success of the Miami Project research, mark my words, we will find a cure.